What about the world of commercials? I mean, here at Retro Rangers, we watch old videos. We especially like to watch things that may have been forgotten by the general populace. They may have fallen out of the minds of people who had seen these things and enjoyed these things and liked these things. And what about commercials? Well, we have some great commercials. We have some amazing commercials. We got a couple of stinkers. Of course we do. Come on. You got to have it all. So, hey, I think it's time we launch this rocket. Don't you?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
Welcome, Retro Rangers, to your mission. Watch old video with us, review it, react to it, give us your feelings, let us know, tell us some stories if you got some stories. And we're here for that. We share, we're fun people. You know what? When I say we, I'm not referring to me and a frog in my pocket. I'm referring to me and my very good friend and co-host here at Retro Rangers. Will you say hello, please, to Joe Townsell? Commander Townsell, welcome aboard. Welcome to duty.
Thank you, Captain John. And the only thing I'm disappointed with that intro is that I kind of aspire to be a frog in your pocket. So I hope I get to that level someday.
That's a phrase, right?
It is. It is now.
When you're referring to we, are you referring to you and a frog in your pocket? I think when we were growing up, there was a lot more shaming about the royal we.
Ah, yes.
So but I'm so lucky to have my teammate Joe Townsell with me. Joe Townsell, a real credit to the world of art. He's not only great on video, he's also great on the printed page or the digital page, if you will. And where are you? There you are. Have you seen this ad? Speaking of commercials, have you seen this one yet? Books by Joe Townsell. Music by yours truly.
Absolutely. A true collaboration.
I am so thrilled that I got to use. This was a jingle I wrote for a project that didn't quite happen. So when I needed music for one of my joetownsell.com ads, this is how I got to use that song.
It's a great marriage of book covers and ears.
Oh yes, and let's not for a moment look past the the fact of the matter here. I'm actually going to make that go back. All of these book covers were designed by Joe Townsell himself.
Well, thank you for mentioning, John. Yes, it's great fun. That way you get exactly what you want as far as presenting your fiction. So
that is a very good point. I think
you save a ton in design fees.
Yeah, you do. I think you and I are the same way. Like, talented at a few different kinds of fields. Jack of all trades, master of, well, let's say a couple.
Master of some.
Master of some, exactly. Mr. Townsell, what a great show and what a great guest we have tonight. Really looking forward to talking with Tony Luna again. He's been on our Starbase 80 shows before. And he also multi-talented, very entertaining guy. We're going to be playing a little music a little later from Tony's band.
Anyone who's ever heard his group, and as you can see, I'm devoting at least partially my little advertising space in the corner of my photo here to their great website. We'll see more about that later, lhska.com. Los Hooligans is by far, and I've heard a few.
Yeah.
To name a few. Yeah. I've heard they're by far my favorite ska band, based out of wonderful Fresno, California, where I'm coming to you once again live from the Starship Luna Levy, and they're
On
just
loan.
great
He's
folks.
on loan.
Yes, I'm on loan, temporary assignment, and I tell you guys, you'll see more reasons why in a bit, but you got to check them out. Great music from a great bunch of guys, led by my good best friend, not just some person, but my good best friend, Tony Luna.
Tony Luna, very cool guy. He suggested this week's subject, and I have to admit, I may have when you and I, Joe, were originally talking about doing this series, there may have been a moment where I was going, well, we could do this and we could do that and we could do this, and I may have thought of commercials, and I don't think I dared. I don't think I dared because commercials are fast. Commercials. As you know, if we have like 3 15-minute clips for the average show, I make like 20 mistakes trying to make them all work with a whole lot of commercials, but they're really good ones. Really, really good ones this week. I'm looking at them up in my browser window. We're gonna do fine. But there might be a little bit of mistakes I make.
Oh, you know what, John? I mean, no one's looking for flawless production here. We fly by the seat of our pants. We usually come out shining, not the pants, but us. And it's gonna be great. And as I mean, I have yet to see what John picked out, so I'm looking forward to that. And they just naturally lend themselves to categorization and just various genres. So we're gonna have a great time looking at some classic commercials, some of which you'll never see the likes of again.
That is absolutely true. And, maybe we should start there. So let's start with one of our oldest commercials. And this is one, I think, suggested by you, Joe. This is the Flintstones commercial.
Oh, yes.
Oh, good. Tony's already watching. Excellent. The Right Guard commercial with Mona. Not sure I have that one.
I know exactly what he's talking about. I mean, once you start the process, I mean, we could do multiple parts of this episode over time.
Oh, we definitely could. We definitely could. Right Guard commercial. I'm searching for. Oh my God. But this is the one with Mona, right? Because I'm finding the one with Hi Guy.
I think it's the same thing. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it might be.
the two guys share a medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
Sides of the wall.
Oh my God. I know the guy in this. Okay. You know what? Let's just go to
Let's do it. Let's do that.
I mean, if Tony's going to bring it up, let's watch that one first. And oh my God. All right. Normally I'm fine with using Chrome because we use StreamYard to put the show together, and it works better on the Chrome browser. And sadly, my Chrome browser is like creaking. Like, oh, good Lord, you got how many tabs open? Oh, holy cow. I'm not sure I remember this one.
Oh, two of you. Oh, that's my boy.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Chuck. Oh, gosh. Hello.
Chuck McKeely or something, right?
Chuck McCann.
Sorry, I had
to move. Chuck McCann from Far Out Space Nuts. And I used to work with Chuck. He's no longer with us. God love him. What a wonderful man. Just the biggest, sweetest guy. And Chuck McCann was the voice of Sonny, the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Oh,
I think crow. Like, oh, chocolate. Yeah! That was Chuck McCann.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Chuck McCann was super cool. Okay, so let me get this shared over.
Just like we start our day with some good deodorant, we're going to start our show with some good deodorant commercials.
All right, so this is a later in the series edition of Right Guard. So we've already established that Guy the average everyday schmo who opens up his medicine cabinet in the morning, has to talk to Chuck McCann. But Chuck McCann has brought a friend on this one. So here we go. I'll blow it up for you. And
Hi, guy.
Oh, two of you. Oh,
That's my boy. Hey, you got a new right guard roll on.
I got to say, okay, now I know for a fact that's not Chuck McCann's son, but that's some good casting. He looks like
I thought
his
for a
son.
moment it was.
Yeah, absolutely. But Chuck, I knew Chuck. He didn't have. This wasn't his son.
that's my right guard roll-on with the new wider ball.
I use my mom's.
Oh, right guard's better.
That's right, son.
Yeah? Yeah. You can't buy better wetness protection than this right guard.
Bye. Bye.
Don't do that.
Bye, guy.
Mona.
Right guard roll-on. Get dressed without it.
Okay,
I
so
forgot. Okay, thank you,
it's more
Bionic
peculiar
Disco.
that they have this. They share the same medicine cabinet from opposite sides of the wall, or that Chuck McCann is using the bathroom mirror at the same time as his son.
Crowded bathroom, I guess.
I guess so.
Tony Luna, thank you so much. That one was that's great. And I'd forgotten that the punchline was Mona. Oh, that's some good old-fashioned buttoning right there.
Yeah, I don't think we ever saw Mona. I think she never came to his rescue in time before the commercial was over.
I do not remember Mona, but I do remember that whole series of commercials. Mario, a good friend of Retro T-Barone, is wishing me a happy belated birthday. Thank you so much. When was my birthday? On the 23rd, on Friday.
And John, please allow me to wish you a happy birthday at the time, but again, here for everyone to see, happy birthday.
Thank you very much, my friend.
How's it feel to be of legal drinking age at this point?
Yes, legal drinking age for Metamucil. Yes, that's me. I wanted to. Oh, Tony, are you still watching? If you're still watching, Tony, I had something I wanted to show you as well as Joe, as well as everybody at home. I can wait. I can wait till Tony gets in Joe's shot here. Oh, let's go back to what we were discussing. Oh, there's Tony. Okay, good. All right. Gentlemen, everybody at home, I don't always do this. I don't always go digging to find which of my commercials are online.
Oh.
I had a very active commercial career about 20 years ago. About 25 to 20 years ago, I was in a lot of commercials and I loved it. And then I got a job on cable TV, and like a schmo, I stopped doing commercials. And when that job ended, then commercial people had pretty much forgotten about me. And I got a spot here and there.
Yeah.
It was really hard to find anything that I was in. I know okay, yes. Now here is the thing. There used to be one for Wonder Bread. And I was kind of I won't say it was a big deal commercial, but a lot of people will remember this one once you see it. I couldn't find it on YouTube. I couldn't find it anywhere. And I thought I used to know where it was. So what? But here's a commercial I never actually got to see. So I'm thrilled that I did find this other one.
Oh, I can't wait.
This is from Sears. And here we go. I'm going to do a little share button on this one. Share screen. And there you are. So let's take a look at this commercial I did for Sears. Oh, wait. Okay. And
So have you narrowed it down yet?
Yeah, it's between the GE, the Maytag, or the Whirlpool, or the Frigidaire, or the Amana, or the Kenmore.
nice close up.
Which one?
Back to the TVs.
Goes John.
No, I don't think I come back again. So no, there's no physical button on that. So I will take you. Yeah, that's That's what Baby John used to look like. Have there been a lot of hard years since then? There have. I don't remember her name. I do remember that at one point I put my hand on her shoulder and she said, never touch me.
Oh, great.
So I'm sorry that she went through some crap in her life. I mean, whatever she went through was terrible, and I wish she hadn't gone through that. But yes, I accidentally was part of her post-trauma by putting a hand on her shoulder,
Oh, my goodness.
which I stopped doing. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying really hard in the commercial to not
Or
touch
the
her.
Frigidaire, or the Amana, or the Kenmore.
However,
going back to the
Yeah, those
teachers.
arms are kind of right down there by your sides.
in the safe zone. There is also, you can really tell that I dubbed my own voice in. I think they called me back and they were like, yeah, could you do this extra line? And then they called me back again and said, do you speak Spanish?
Oh,
Which I wish I did. I love Spanish because it was huge on Spanish language television. Huge. And but I provided a Spanish speaking actor a job because he dubbed my voice in. So that's cool. Nothing
that's
wrong
cool. And
with
plus, it just made you sound more romantic, probably, huh?
that.
Seems like you couldn't touch your co-star without her jumping through the ceiling or something.
That's probably true. Because back during these days when I was making money way back when, we had a lady who would come in and clean our house every couple of weeks. And she would say, like, I saw you on television again. I saw you on television. I'm like, oh, what was it during? And she's like, Lucha Libre. I'm like, oh, no, cool. I love Lucha Libre. That's great. But it was like on during her stories, her telenovelas. It was on during everything. So yeah, there you go. I'm so glad I could provide to my good friend Mario. I'm so glad I could provide you a laugh and a chance to call me Babyface.
Babyface John. So apropos.
Back in the day. So
even now, Babyface.
well, aren't you kind? I look like a man you wouldn't leave with a baby. Okay, so let's go back in time. Now, this is one of your choices, I believe. Joe, this is the aforementioned Flintstones commercial.
One of my favorites this week, yes.
And it is, folks at home, we're just going to have to warn you, you're not ready for this.
You're not ready for it. It promotes smoking. I hope I didn't give that away.
No, go right ahead.
Sexism, misogyny, it's all there.
It's all there. Now, you have to remember that back in the day, the Flintstones was a prime time show.
Like The Simpsons.
Just like The Simpsons. So it was on at night. And back in those days, as we always like to remind you, the average person had maybe 4 or 5 channels of television they could watch. It was not 20. It was not 50. It was just a handful. So they would throw commercials that might be inappropriate on the television. And that's how we ended up with this from the Flintstones, brought to you by Winston Cigarettes.
I'm gonna bet you're hard at work.
Work hard, don't they, Bonnie? Yeah? I hate to see them work so hard. Yeah, me too. Let's go around back where we can't see them.
Perfect.
Do something, Fred. Okay? How's about taking a nap? Hey, I got a better idea. Let's take
There they are.
That's it.
What?
Winston is the one from the cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times.
Let's nap or let's have a smoke.
Let's have a smoke.
The blend makes the big taste difference, and only Winston has it up front where it
I'm
counts.
surprised Will isn't hitting him with a rolling pin or something.
Winston packs rich tobaccos.
At this point, they had not invented Virginia Slims.
But good flavor in fruit and smoking. Yeah, Bonnie, Winston tastes good
Mario
like
likes
cigarette chug. The Flintstones have been brought to you by
And what What I like about this is that it's a regular pack of Winston cigarettes. It's not like some stone pack. It's all paper and plastic. Regular lighter.
Regular lighter, no little pterodactyl.
There doing this.
They also have like the theme music at the end. There is like overture, hit the lights. Oh, what heights will hit? So there you go. Smoking in the Stone Age. Now that, of course, was not the only main entertainment that advertised cigarettes. Lots of shows advertised cigarettes. We've talked about this before, Joe. I Love Lucy was sponsored by, I think, Philip Morris.
Philip Morris. And yeah, they often, they'd either go to a commercial, which had them in character advertising the product.
Yeah.
Or they would just do product placement as we know it today, just smoking while she's running the vacuum, whatever.
Yeah. There were all kinds of crossovers and because sponsorships, back in the day, you did a sponsorship. You didn't do, we're going to have a commercial break and show you a bunch of different sponsors, though that did develop slowly through the late 50s, because they used to do that in the late 50s on old time radio shows too. They would have multiple sponsors. So let me call up another one of these. This one I haven't watched, so I don't know about this one. I love.
Just remember, folks, all these commercials are a product of their times.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you, as an ex-smoker, we're only watching these just for entertainment purposes. Do not smoke. One of the greatest things that I ever quit was smoking. And I'm proud of it to this very day. Okay, so here is Beverly Hillbillies.
What you doing, Greg? Yourself a new pipe? Oh, I got something here you want to cotton to. That banker fella gave them to me. What's that? Winston cigarettes.
Winston?
Oh, Granny, they's first rate.
Boy.
You say they're really good.
When I started smoking, by the way, I smoked Winstons.
See? Yeah. Apparently these commercials had an effect on you, John. Look, she put some in her corncob pipe.
Underhead. That is good smoking.
Well, you put that
way, Granny.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Literally.
Yes.
Tastes even better. You tell me these Winstons is the best tasting cigarette you can get? I may put away my corncob. That's it.
Oh, wow, that's major.
Look, Granny, just ain't no way of saying how good a Winston is. You got to smoke one to find out.
I may put away my corncob
Winston tastes mighty good. Like a cigarette should.
Like a
dirty without trying.
See?
Wow.
Not to mention, I mean, it seems that we're kind of in the middle of a sequel to our Mr. and Mrs. C anti-cigarette PSA, but hey.
Right.
Right. And remember also when we were kids, John, if you couldn't smoke just yet, there was always the candy cigarettes.
I loved those things. Oh my God, I loved candy cigarettes. But of course, the prevalence of cigarettes and cigarette advertising, which had, pretty much created the media. Like, if you look back on it, when commercials started, tobacco was one of the biggest advertisers. And that went on for decades and decades until, and I think I'm setting this up correctly, this is another cut you gave me, Joe, called January 1st, 1971, The Last Cigarette Ads.
Absolutely. And when we're done with this, John, I'm happy to announce that when we watch this next clip afterwards, we'll be able to introduce our special guest.
Oh, excellent.
Who has joined us in the studio.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So let me blow this up. I get a little click.
The Philip Morris Company has bought all commercial time on the first half hour of all the network talk shows tonight. That is the last half hour on which it is legal to sell cigarettes on radio or television in the United States. It marks, as we like to say, the end of an era. It's been a long era. I guess maybe really sophisticated advertising for cigarettes began when George Washington Hill wanted to start women on the habit, but was afraid of popular criticism.
Well,
In
why
those
should
days,
women
it
have lung
was assumed
cancer?
that women were somehow finer creatures than men.
Oh, yes.
Anyhow,
Finer
Phil put a
creatures.
man and a girl in a porch swing, the man smoking a Lucky Strike. The girl speaks. Blow some my way. I love the smell of a good cigarette.
Boom.
In later years,
Double
horses and
meaning.
waterfalls and speedboats and almost everything else have been used instead of porch swings as a setting for the message. In Wrestling Around for a nostalgic piece, producer Dick Goldberg ran into Philip Morris's original Johnny, somewhat older now,
Oh.
as we all are.
Yes.
They didn't get much older.
He's famous.
Yes. He was on Lucy.
Light up for lucky.
It's light up time.
Oh.
Be happy, go lucky.
It's
Just want to give me a cig right now.
over, under, around and through. Pell-mell travels, pleasure to you. Smoke.
What's it like to smoke an Alpine?
You'll never know. It's
I'm Lee
going.
Marvin, just brushing up on my judo and enjoying my favorite smoke, pell-mell.
Us Carrington smokers would rather fight than sweat.
I remember the black eye. Oh, I saw you the other night dancing with some cigarettes, and I think there was a girl there too.
You can light either end. My pell-mell famous cigarettes.
I do love Hey, I'm Lee
And
Marvin.
they
I
are
just kicked a
mild.
guy's butt. No, I'm
Here's the
smoking.
story about a cigarette that's sure to please. Keeps you smoking fresh and friendly as a southern breeze. The hint of mint and Newport refreshes while you smoke. Refreshes, refreshes, refreshes while you smoke. Are there any questions, man?
No, but that's pretty groovy.
Here on the ranch, this cigarette is the one. Gentle, rich-tasting Camel.
I did enjoy
Simple
Camels
as that.
back in the day as well.
Marlboro. Sure is a swell new box.
Nicknamed Cowboy Killers,
Oh,
but not Winston's.
Wherever you are, you're in Marlboro country.
Sirens screaming danger in the street. Prowl cars racing trouble on the beat.
Prowl cars. Remember Prowl cars?
Cities, you will find a man stops and takes
I
his
was like, I
pleasure
need
when
to
and
get a
where
boat
he
because you'd be
can.
like,
You come
Get the
a
girls.
long way
And there you go.
to get where you got to today.
Ah, the maxi dress.
Virginia slims now, baby. You come a long
Now, Johnny was an actual, kid. I can't remember what that job was called. Back
Well,
at a
it isn't
hotel in
like
New
saying
York.
goodbye to an old friend, I guess, because the doctors have convinced us they aren't old friends. But we may be pardoned, I think, on dim winter nights in the future, sitting by the fire and nodding and saying, remember LSMFT? Remember Glenn Gray playing Smoke Rings for the Camel Caravan?
I can't
Remember
remember.
nature in the raw is seldom mild? Remember all those girls who had it all together?
I do remember that.
Howard will be back with comment in a moment.
Settle down? Not a chance. Not when you're on the road with the Partridge Family.
Well, this isn't about cigarettes,
I was
but
gonna say, they're not going to smoke on it.
Not going to bless my childhood now, are you? Shirley Jones pulling out a Pall Mall.
I didn't ever notice. No, there was no smoking on the Partridge Family, was there?
Well, no. For one thing, it was just past the end of smoking on advertising on TV, regardless. And
Right.
I think characters and shows smoking actually preceded the ban on commercials.
Yeah, that seems right. That seems.
I'm sure Shirley Jones in real life, just smoked 3 or 4 packs a day of unfiltered Camels, but that was that was not the part.
Back set with Ruben. Yeah.
Exactly, and Danny.
And Danny, yeah.
Oh, Danny. Ooh. Hey, if you just joined us, we have got our good friend with us. Tony Luna is here. And Joe this week has dedicated his, what do we call these? Our name tags?
Sure, why not?
He's dedicated.
Slugs.
Yeah, identifiers.
Yeah, identifiers. And LHSCA.com. Tony, tell the folks what those lovely letters mean when you put them all together.
Well, that's our official website we've had for quite a long while. Even back to the day with the dial-up modem on AOL.
I was gonna ask, yeah. Holy cow! I mean, no, I'm not saying like, dude, you're old. I'm not saying that. You're younger than I am. I wouldn't say that. But Los Hooligans. When did you form the band?
We started in 1992.
Wow.
And we had back then the scene was the subculture of ska was happening and pretty strong down in LA, and we had some friends that wanted to start a band, and the very first band was called Tabasco Fiasco with 8 guys, and one of the guys, the leader of the band at the time, we spent months and months playing the same 8 songs, and a lot of us, I'd say half of us wanted to move on and learn some material. So we ended up forming our own group, and that's where it started. And we ended up playing fairs and that sort of thing. Went down to, ended up playing in LA, made lots of good friends, and we just did that this last summer. As a matter of fact, we've been around for quite a while, and made a lot of friends along the way, and had a chance to play with some really great groups, not only from California, also around the nation and the world. So it's really cool experience.
You guys have toured all over.
Well, the touring part, I wish I could say we had.
Yeah.
But
but fans, you got fans.
What happened is family started and all that business. So the touring thing was out. But it's kind of one of those weekender type things. We end up in the Bay Area or LA or San Diego or that sort of thing. So we end up, luckily for us, big bands that are touring come around. We get to open for them, and it's really a great way to meet those guys. Some of them, like the English Beat, Dave Wakeling, and Bad Manners, and the Specials, and all those kinds of groups. So it's been a really neat experience.
Yeah, and it's funny because I have always been ska adjacent. I have always loved ska, but never been like, ska fans to me are so dedicated.
Oh yeah.
It's not the only kind of music they like, but boy, they love their bands. They go see live music. We have, as a matter of fact, we have a video that I would love to show the people. And this is, sorry, I put my camera in the middle.
He still doesn't know what he's doing.
Put my camera in the middle, then I can't read any. Okay, so this
commercial we did.
Exactly.
Hang on.
Commercial we did.
There you
go. That's the great thing about YouTube. You end up showing commercials whether you want to or not. All right, so this is a little bit of your band, Tony, playing in San Diego. What a beautiful arrangement, by the way. Because it feels new, and then I immediately start hearing, oh no, I know this song. I've always liked this song. Tony, how many pieces are on stage right now?
Let's see. We have, I think it's 10. Our group is 11.
Right on.
We call it a little big band.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a big sound, and that crowd is having such a good time. I love this guy up front who's pointing at you.
Oh yeah, he was having it.
Oh, and there you go. You're like, I recognize you. Yes.
Oh, John, when you go to a performance, as you say, the fans are so dedicated and into it, and you have a great time.
Well, and that's not a mosh pit down there. That's folks grooving and having a good time.
Yes.
So, Tony, have you always been the singer?
No, I haven't. really what happened was the Los Hooligans beginnings happened to be several of the Fresno State jazz band students. And we just kind of wanted to groove more into the dance scene, and that's also another reason they decided to join this group. And our lead singer at the time was our crooner Randy Young, but he moved to Texas at the turn of the century.
Oh, wow.
And so we wanted to keep playing, and myself and the guitarist there, who's actually one of our local weathermen here in Fresno.
That's so cool.
We share the duties.
Yeah.
So
and that's not an easy song, by the way.
Oh, no. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys, I mean, they do, excellent covers and original material, obviously. I mean, there's not a single song I don't love. I know I'm biased because this is my guy. They are exceptional. So talented.
And I want to say the most obvious thing that I can say, what an incredibly sharply dressed band as well.
Absolutely. We have our moments.
And I want to put Barry the K up here. Barry says, you give me a good ska band with a good klezmer touch, you're in for a party, my friends. Barry keeps it kosher, as we say. And I agree. You get that klezmer sound in there, or that bando sound. I mean, there's all kinds of sounds that can mix with ska, which I just love. And I, being a kid of the 80s, I do go back with, oh my gosh, with the ska bands, the Specials, and the Selector. And, I throw the Clash in there. I know they're not strictly ska, but they definitely had love for ska.
Oh, yeah, the punk scene, it's all connected.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's the music of the people, man. I do love that. All right, let's get back into our commercials. I am going to, I don't know. I argued about whether or not to go with this one. Let's go with it for as long as we can stand it.
Okay, that sounds foreboding.
Anybody in the comments and all of us here on screen, so Tony, Joe, you can call it at any point. We can stop watching this at any point. It is going to be offensive. I'm just gonna put that out there. It is gonna get offensive.
John, telling Tony and me that we might want to stop something if it's offensive is like trying to scare ants away from a picnic by pouring sugar on the ground.
Okay. I mean, I don't anticipate you guys getting too upset, but okay. It starts hard. I just want to let you guys know and let everybody at home know it starts pretty hard. All right. So these were put together.
I am the Frito Bandido. I like Fritos corn chips. I love them, I do. I want Fritos corn chips. I'll get them from you.
Oh my God. So
I think there's a copy behind that.
Hey, you know what? You're onto something there.
Yeah, man. There's the next Los Hooligans cover right there, Frito Bandito.
Yeah.
And I believe that's Mel Blanc, a very famous not Hispanic person. And yes, the Frito Bandito. So I remember that from my childhood. Do you remember there was a period of time where they had Frito Bandito rubber erasers that you could put onto the end of your pencil?
Oh, yeah.
So I had a few of those, and I used to play with them. They were like my little G.I. Joes, my little Frito Bandito. And that back in the day when your life was completely surrounded with racism, Frito Bandito is one of the people who would come into your home. Okay, so this is obviously Sunny from Hawaiian Punch.
Hey, how about a nice Hawaiian punch?
Sure.
Is that not really violent?
Hey, the guy deserved it. He's kind of stupid for saying yeah.
Now, in my mind, I always made that racial. I always thought that Sonny was native to Hawaii and that the big guy, sure, was a tourist and he was punching him. I don't know that was true.
Yeah.
Let's does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie?
Which always bothered me because that young man is naked.
Let's find out.
Always bothered.
1, 2, 3, 3.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
I lost a crown last time I ate one of those.
Abiding respect for the natural beauty.
Oh my God, this is the same announcer.
Iron Eyes Cody.
And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
Oh no, wait. I think that was William Conrad was the announcer. And this is Iron Eyes Cody.
Yes.
This, do you remember this when we were little kids?
Oh, absolutely.
They played this all the time.
I
feel
feel
like
like
throwing their McDonald's bags on the highway. You know?
I didn't care about any of that crap.
How comes this trash can 5 feet away?
Yeah.
And this was a big problem. Like, I don't know if people remember. I don't know if people now understand, as those of us who do remember understand, that back in the day, people would just be like, well, that's a lot of trash out the window.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. So let's play one more. Boy, that tear.
Drinking coffee every day didn't work for me.
I'm sorry. This is
but
a
I couldn't
modern
figure
commercial.
out
What was the actual
until I went from 184
Actual
to
commercial.
Mamma mia, that's
There we
some
go.
species. Got spicy meatballs, Jack. Take 28. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Cut. The accent. Cut.
I don't remember this.
Micey, micey, ballsy, ballsy. Take 59. And action.
Sometimes you eat more than you should. And when it's spicy besides, Mamma mia, do you need Alka-Seltzer?
Classic.
Sooner or later, you're going
Actual, I think it was a Ragu commercial, and then of course Rolaids is doing, or Alka-Seltz is doing a takeoff on it.
Right. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. Stereotypes, of course, a very big part of it. You know, I have lots of Italian friends who are like, yeah, that was fun.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, it was really fun being raised and going to school and all the kids going, oh, it's the spicy meatball.
Right.
Although I don't know if it's better that, like, my nephew, who's half Italian, grew up with Mario, and I always thought that was funny. It's like the most he knew about being Italian was, hey, I'm a Mario. Select the player.
I think Mario's about 4 feet tall, isn't he?
Right. Okay, so we got some good ones here. Let's pull one of the ones that Tony suggested. This is a great one here. And you know, it's funny because I didn't even think of this one. And I wonder, Tony, if there's a story to this. Sorry. Oh gosh, can
Just
I
make something up.
Okay, here we go.
I'm still trying to get over Mona today. I know it's not a big thing. I'll explain that in a moment.
Oh, please.
I
haven't seen that commercial in years.
You know, that is the beauty of YouTube. As long as I'm not in the commercial, it's easy to find.
Hey, this Christmas party is getting a little too quiet. I think it's time we liven it up with my favorite Christmas gift, Mr. Microphone. Hey, what's that? You set this up on your FM radio and testing. These kids are having a fabulous time with Mr. Microphone.
These kids are having a fabulous time because we said so.
On the radio. There are no attaching
what?
So you're free to move around. Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Hashtag me too.
Broadcast in mono or with car radios in stereo. Yeah.
Professional entertainers use Mr. Microphone for rehearsing.
Tony, do professional entertainers use Mr. Microphone for rehearsing?
I still use it.
Do you? That's good to hear.
Yeah, it's like orange plastic.
The problem is you have to have AM access to AM radio.
Practical and great fun for the whole family. It makes the perfect Christmas gift, and it's only $14.88.
Well, $14.88.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Nothing wrong with that $14.88.
Yeah, hopping over to Kmart. And...
You know what, Tony? We're going to put John to the test. If not this moment, maybe by the end of the show. But you suggested something to me, which I never got to John. That another product that you were.
Oh yeah, John. Have you ever heard of? I could be totally wrong as far as the title, but do you remember this product called? I think it was called the Bone Phone. They would wear this thing, and you're basically hearing the music through the vibrations through your body, and it was kind of like supposed to be like an upgrade to Mr. Microphone. It was hip and cool. Bone Phone. I think
it just sounds like a 976 number.
No, you're both right. You're both right, because here's the thing. I remember my brother would get Playboy magazine, and of course I'd steal them from him. And and at some point I would start reading the articles. I would get so bored. I would just go through every page.
I just got really bored, or just spent as far as
bored, exhausted, tired. I got it all from Playboy magazine. And here's what I remember. I remember there being a full page ad, and I remember it being encouraged, like if you were skiing.
Oh, so, yeah, that would make sense.
So like if you're skiing, you need to, you can't wear headphones. Bury the K. That's exactly right. The article.
Neither do I.
And maybe it was like in Rolling Stone magazine, or I used to also get National Lampoon. And the idea was that it was this thing that hung around your neck, and it played into your bones, and you could hear the sound being bounced off your skeleton.
That's I wonder if it ever worked. I never tried it.
I'm gonna be looking this up at some point to find out if anybody. I mean, I'm sure there's at least one Reddit for Bone Phone. But that was the idea, that basically your skeleton would be reverberating. It would be the speaker. Would be your bones.
It sounds like some nefarious, dastardly, mind control thing.
I wonder if you could I wonder if your roommate, if you could put it on him and wake him up with Metallica or something, like playing on his skeleton. All kinds of possibilities if that was real. Let's see. Barry says, Google Bone Phone tonight and see what pops up first. Yeah, we're pretty.
I want to keep my job.
Exactly. I want to keep my wife. Okay, so there's one thing that I wanted to. Let's see if I can do this quickly. You guys are going to hate me. You're going to hate me.
Never.
For coming up with this commercial. Because frankly, I hate me for coming up with this commercial. Hang on. Did you hear a little bit of it?
Nope, not yet.
Good. All right. Okay. I'm not making a lot of contributions to today's show because your suggestions, guys, were so good. But this is one of the ones that I thought we have to confront ourselves with this. We have to deal with, I think it's time that we talked about
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Now, I don't have anything against kids. I don't have anything against making donations. I actually have a car that I am going to get rid of. And because I hate this song so much, I will not give it to them under any circumstances.
Online at carsforkids.com. That's cars with the K. Pick
And I don't know about you guys, but I blame KARS Cars for Kids for ruining radio.
But that beat, it's a rock steady beat, which fits part of our theme today.
I think
for those upbeats.
Yeah, I think we got the next Hooligans album, well underway here.
Hey,
Josh
gotta make a buck. Yeah.
Josh says, "I hate this ad."
But you remember this song? See,
Rattles.
you do, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, let's face it.
There's a classic Cheers episode where it's actually played by John Mahoney, who the following year went on to be Frasier's dad.
Yeah.
In this, he's playing a jingles guy, and every jingle he comes up with is sung to the tune of Old McDonald. Beers and pretzels, that's our game. CHERS. He misspelled the name and everything. But by God, it sticks in your head, doesn't it?
Cheers.
Well, and it's public domain. Like, they can't tell you can't use it. I mean, I have to say, it's an original tune. I'll give them that. La, da, da, da. But I don't think they ever had anyone sing it who could really sing, which I think was part of what made it viral. 1877 Cars for Kids.
That's pre-auto-tuned.
They couldn't.
We're just in here with Joshua.
Oh, Josh, we're with you, pal. We are with you. Okay, so this is a nice one. Now, Joe, I think this is one of yours. Let's go and share screen. So this
as
is
you guys go through these ads and such, it's so funny. I think you could have done an hour just on the cigarette thing for a while.
Well, as I said,
isn't that crazy?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's tons. I mean, and like I said, this definitely is an episode that's ripe for follow-ups or sequels.
It is.
Oh, for sure. We'll
it's
do.
funny that we're discussing cigarettes, because I was just telling my kids not too long ago that we used to have a senior smoking area in high school, and our teachers, my band teacher, had a cigarette and a maple bar and coffee every morning. And his office was filled with smoke, and we didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once upon a time, I mean, we discussed our problems over coffee and cigarettes. Now those are our problems.
Good point.
Lucky to be alive.
Yes.
Good point. All right. Now this is a little somber and respectful, which is unusual for us here at Retro Rangers. But
we
like
got
to
down
try
the frivolity and silliness for a moment.
All right. So this is the people have to remember that September 11th was such a big deal, very hard to get through. As a nation, people were very scarred by it. And I had a lot of friends still in New York City at the time. And oh man, they were going through it. And a lot of advertising agencies had offices in New York City. So it hit home hard. And so there were a lot of commercials like this one. Of course, who doesn't love the Clydesdales?
Well, you got to have a Clydesdale commercial on the show like that.
God, I love these guys. I hope I don't get teary-eyed. This is kind of a hit.
We're making a lot of fun. There's really short but wonderful works of art amongst these as well.
That's true. A lot of great filmmakers were making money in commercials as well. I don't know who directed this one necessarily, but a lot of great filmmakers worked on Budweiser.
But all you need is this right here.
Oh!
No!
Yeah, that did it.
Did you, John? Oh, yeah.
Woo! All right. No, hang on. Gosh darn it. And now you had to ruin it. Where is this commercial? All right. Well, thank you very much.
Tony, repeat that for John as he's trying to get the other commercial on.
I just saw on social media that the Clydesdales were about 45 minutes south of us this past weekend. So,
no way.
Yes, I had some friends out there feeding them and all that business.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. So they tour. The Clydesdales tour.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have jobs. I mean, that's their job.
My grandma Townsville used to have to visualize it, of course. But my uncle, her son, gave her for Christmas one year, and she treasured it the rest of her life. It was a long display case, and it was just a miniature of the Clydesdale and the Budweiser coach.
That's some beautiful stuff right there, man.
That was that itself was a work of art. But yeah, these are tremendous commercials. I'm glad they've started to bring them back in recent years.
Yeah. They will spend a lot of money on these. So I think Budweiser will have like a big commercial at the Super Bowl usually. Can't remember how recently they've done that, but a lot of times they'll put their budget into that. I was only ever in one Super Bowl commercial. It was for Porsche, and it was so expensive. It was so insane. I think we worked for 3 nights on Sunset Boulevard, and they shut down parts of Sunset Boulevard just to shoot this commercial.
That's awesome.
I should actually be looking for it.
Yeah, you should find that.
Find it. I mean, are you the debonair guy with the shades and the gloves driving the Porsche?
You know what's so funny about it is I was up for that guy. I was maybe going to be that guy, and then they asked me how tall I was.
Oh,
and it was for the Porsche Boxster. And I could basically put a Porsche Boxster on my head and wear it as a hat. The Porsche Boxster is such an incredible. Oh, I guess I gotta say commercial here. I'm not seeing it, guys.
Okay.
I am
taking a short hiatus. We'll be right back.
Quick.
Okay. Yeah, you go for it, man. No, I am not seeing that. Let's see. Would it be? No. I don't think I can find it. I know this is something I should have checked before we actually start doing the show.
That's good. But you know what, John? Here's the thought. I mean, anything we didn't get to tonight, and if it doesn't want to keep till next time we do commercials, hey, we'll put it in the comments ourselves. Links.
No, that's a very good point. I mean, this is
we need the Porsche Boxster. We definitely got to have Bone Phone in there somewhere.
I need to know more about the Bone Phone. Who doesn't? All right, let's see. So that
I'm going to take it. Was Josh's suggestion, but I'm going to Google that later and see what I get.
Yeah. Clear your cache right after. Clear
yes.
Your cache. No, this is, I'm not seeing it. Basically a very, I misspelled Boxster. A very expensive commercial, and I'll describe it to you. Basically what happens is a bus driver is driving some people home, and I'm one of those people. Which was really nice because they were like, we want you to be the lead. Oh, you're not going to work out as the lead. You're much bigger than the product. So we'll make you one of the actors in the commercial. And that was super nice of them to do. And I made a nice little bit of, income from that, which was lovely. And the bus driver stops at a light, and he turns and he sees a Porsche dealership, and he sees the Boxster, and then the light turns green. And now he's imagining that he's with this beautiful blonde, and he's got, driving gloves, and he's got the scarf blowing in the wind. And he's just driving on this windy, sort of, Pacific Coast Highway, kind of a beautiful road, and the scenery is so gorgeous. But back in reality, he's driving the bus like crazy. He's zigzagging with the bus. And so I'm a guy who's got a bowling bag with a bowling ball in it, but of course it falls out. And now my bowling ball is, rolling all through the bus. And as this woman drops her groceries, and we're flying all over the place. Half the people in the bus are stunt people. The best part was they were like, okay, we're going to start the stunt driving. And all of his actors are like, what does that mean? And all the stunt people have like these straps, and they're like winding their arms around the strap and then getting them out of the shot. And we're like, wait, what are we supposed to be? Eventually They're like, yeah, you have a safety strap. No one told you about that. Like, no, we're just actors, for heaven's sake. There was like 5 or 6 of us. We're just actors. Nobody told us about the stunts. So, now, what was nice was that's night number 1. By night number 3, the stunt people are taking care of us. They've taught us how to do all kinds of stuff. You know, I know how to jump out of a building on fire right now if I wanted to. It's not anything that was being done on that commercial. But it was really great. It was a fun experience. But yeah, I can't find that Boxster commercial right yet, but we'll try to come up with it next time.
I guess the only silver lining there, since it didn't happen, was you did dodge a bullet as far as typecasting, maybe.
I mean, you know, this to me was a great moment, because whenever anyone has ever said to me, "Oh, I wish I was as big as you," I'm able to say, "No, you don't wish that, because you can fit into a Porsche." Because my buddy Brad was the guy, I met Brad on the commercial, and then we became buddies, but Brad was super cool. And yeah, so I was like, Brad, you know, because I guess we were shooting like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I was like, so Brad, are they going to put you in the Porsche Boxster? And he's like, yeah, like Thursday and Friday night, we're driving up the coast, and I'm going to literally drive a Porsche Boxster, and they're going to literally film it. And that was just so much fun. And of course, you know, the question, hey, do you get to keep the Boxster? No, you don't.
Oh,
but I also love that, you know, I guess they probably asked him, like, you know how to drive, right? Because I mean, every once in a while in commercial casting, they will cast somebody. Oh, like when we were watching the Sears commercial and the girl was like, don't touch me.
Oh.
Like, no one asked her, like, do you mind being married to a man that might put a hand on your shoulder? And I would have hoped she would have said the truth, which was, no, I don't want that. But no, she told me that. She didn't tell anyone else that. But anyway, am I still salty? A little bit.
You did look your character looked a little bit nervous to be with his wife in that spot. Now we know why.
Well, this is the thing about commercials. A lot of times they cast the person for the look, and that's it.
Yeah.
There was a commercial a friend of mine was directing, and they were doing a thing that was in a pool, and it was going to basically be a woman eating soup and spilling it. And then they pull out, and she's in a pool, which is supposedly all the soup that she's dropped. It was a stupid commercial. It was for James Way, which is a department store back on the East Coast. And the woman who they hired, they had said, like, so are you comfortable being at a pool? And she said, yes. And then it came time for her to show up and do the commercial, and she was in hysterics because she doesn't like water.
Oh, great. Yeah,
and
like
she doesn't want to be in the pool. Yeah. Little detail that she might have actually, mentioned. I also have another story here, if you don't mind me going with another story. This is from a joke that Barry made of, and I'll sing it for you, by Menon. So, a Menon commercial, Menon made antiperspirant, right? Yeah, deodorant. Yeah. And then it'd be like, at the end of the commercial, the little hook would be by Menon. A friend of mine, when I was in New York, said, I'm working on a show and it's being financed by a jingle writer. And he has written an opera based on Moby Dick. And I'm like, wow, that sounds really cool. And I go, do we know anything this guy's ever written? And he goes, yeah, he's the guy who wrote By Menon. At which point we were like, oh, wow, he made a lot of money, huh? It's like, yeah, he was doing his own off-Broadway show, basically with the the profits stirred up by Menon.
Well, don't forget that was further immortalized on Seinfeld. At one point, in one episode, George had a little jingle that says Costanza, because he basically what's what I'm looking for peripherally, when you don't realize the commercials being played.
Yeah, subliminal.
Thank you, subliminally. He subliminally placed the power of suggestion in women's minds, so that no matter how turned off they were by him, that little thing would come in Costanza.
That is so funny. A couple years ago, during the pandemic, I finally sat down and watched every episode of Seinfeld, and I'm actually really mad at myself that I forgot that one. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find. Oh, I mean, there's no way that this would be. No. Okay. All right. I do want to tell this story.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Yeah. Okay. But I can't show it to you because it's not on YouTube. So Mario Retro Tiburon asks, what's your worst experience of being in a commercial? I'm a big fellow. I'm a large man. 6'4". Good size. Good size fella. I'm up around 260, 270 probably right now. And I got hired to play Bigfoot in a commercial. This is for James Way. Again, James Way. And my friends were directing, so they got me the gig, but I was pretty good. I was so good, as a matter of fact. I show up early in the morning and they say, have you seen the Bigfoot costume yet? Now, I've seen Bigfoot done a bunch of different ways, as lots of people have. And I didn't realize they would put a mask over my face. I also didn't realize they basically just went to a costumer and got a Chewbacca costume. So every part of me was covered. Now, I'd like to think I was smart enough to wear really good underclothes, but I'm not sure I did. I'm pretty sure I put it on over my clothes, pants, shirt, the whole deal. And I couldn't get any air at all. And we shot for hours. And by the time they let me get out of that costume, there was like a gallon of sweat everywhere. And they were like, oh, I don't know if we can return this costume. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Can I have some more water? Because I was completely dehydrated from sweating all day. Oh, by the way, they didn't like it when I sat down. So in between takes, I'd be like leaning on trees and stuff. At one point I did sit down, but the client was like, why is he sitting down? I don't want Bigfoot sitting down. By the way, I wish I had been in the freaking union at the time, because the union would have gotten me breaks, would have gotten me time out of the costume during the day, would have yelled at the director and the client, like, no, you can't treat a human being like that. That was the bad news. The good news was, after they did a lot of commercials. There was one about a mummy, and there was one about a werewolf, and there was one about this, and one about the, creature of the Black Lagoon, and one about Bigfoot, and one about this, and one about that. They showed the commercials to a focus group, and the focus group said their favorite commercial was Bigfoot. So they called me, months later, and they were like, how do you feel about being Bigfoot for a whole week?
Oh,
now that was the bad news. The good news was my friend was the director, and my friend said, I told them they couldn't afford you. I gave them a wildly huge number, and they agreed to it.
Oh.
Also, and they were like, also, we can get it done in 3 days. We don't need to do it for a whole week. So if you can do it again for 3 days, you can make 10 times what you made on the first one. So of course I'm like, yep, get my suit out. Get my big sweaty suit out.
Suit.
And so I did 3 days. And yes, we made some good money. We were able to get a new apartment. We were able to get a much bigger, much better apartment, just based on what I made off of that commercial. So back in the day, that was what commercials could do for you.
So my only question, John, is why didn't we see you in Harry and the Hendersons?
Yeah, well, okay. See, mine was done after Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, if only.
And can I tell you, it is crazy that Harry and the Hendersons was the movie that it was, because I worked with oh my gosh,
Lithgow.
I worked with Lithgow, and he and I are like on the same eye line. Like, he's as tall as I am.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it was very funny that basically they had to make Bigfoot bigger than the lead male in the movie, who was already like 6'4". Okay, so Mario asks, is that the most you made under a hood, or was that in the indies? I used to wrestle. I used to have a masked character. Well, actually, you can see my masks in the background. I used to wrestle in these. Mario, I think I made the most money as this guy, Mega American. But this was Dr. Moloch. Moloch? Yeah, I think this one's Dr. Moloch.
What were the guys in Time Machine? Oh, it was Morlocks.
Yes.
Never mind.
Moloch is a soft demonic name. It's not like a really scary demon. That's how I remember it. And this guy, this is actually this is a character called the Gladiator. And he wrestled in Florida. I didn't realize when I was getting it that there was actually a wrestler who had used it, but yeah. Yeah. And Mario and I used to wrestle. Mario, of course, I don't know if he wants to be telling everybody that he was wicked. But there was also his parents, when he was growing up, and I think still to this day, Mario, correct me if I'm wrong, but his parents had a bakery. And so one of the times that he wrestled, he usually wrestled as a bad guy, wicked, but he wrestled as a good guy. And I don't remember the Spanish name, the Spanish phrase, but it was like the bread boy. He showed up pretty much wearing what he would wear when he was working at his parents' bakery. And he also had a lot of like day old bread with him. Oh, okay, that's nice. I hope they apparently his parents sold the bakery in 2019. I hope they made a nice profit off that. It was I had some of the baked goods from that bakery, and they were delicious. So but yeah, the crowd loved him. Oh, they loved you, Mario. Oh yes, that's it. Here's the panadero. El panadero, or is it la panadero? And now Barry the K says, Mario, did you ever get the chance to see the amazing tag team, the Cantors Boys? See, now Barry the K was like, oh, I bet they would never do this in wrestling. I bet they would never have like a Jewish tag team. I'm like, I'll do that tomorrow. Are you kidding me? Like, people would love it. Well, I mean, literally a Jewish tag team. I don't know. Do the Steiners count?
Why not?
Do you think? Yeah. Do the Steiners count? Okay. No. Mario's never heard of the Cantor's Boys. We Barry the K and I were bouncing around like if you could have a Jewish tag team, and actually it would be super funny if you could have them, but they can't wrestle on Friday nights because it's the Sabbath.
Right.
So you'd have to get the Shabbos Goys to fill in for them. Who would be? I mean, Shabbos Goys. Do I have to explain that? Shabbos Goys, and I'm glad it's funny. Shabbos Goys are. It was explained to me when I lived in New York that during the Sabbath you're not allowed to use anything electric. It says pretty much. I don't know if this is Talmudic, but the Sabbath is marked by you not doing labor, and part of labor would be making a fire. And making a fire. Why am I the one explaining this? I'm so not Jewish, but I love Judaism. So anyway, back in New York, it would be very common to know somebody like Mr. Rodriguez. And to ask him, Mr. Rodriguez, would you come into the apartment? And it sure would be nice if I could turn on this kettle, but I can't turn on the kettle. And then Mr. Rodriguez turns on the kettle, and then it's okay. Now you can have tea. Now you can cook. Now you can have lights on because your Shabbos Goy, your non-Jewish person, can come in and and can, basically press buttons for you and activate things. It's kind of cheating, but let's face it, God doesn't hate us for doing that. I'm telling you, God doesn't hate us for doing that.
A for effort.
Honestly, if we're all working together, I think that's what God wants. So Mario's setting you up, Barry. What would be the Cantor Boys finisher? Now, one of the few Yiddish phrases I can remember is "klop in de kuf." I think I'm getting that right, which is a punch in the head. I'll give you a klop in de kuf.
Like the Hawaiian Punch guy.
So, I mean, we could do a double punch. We could whip the guy off the rope. Oh, look at that. No, Barry K has it even better. The chutzpah slam. I personally would do I would do a power bomb, maybe call it the chutzpah slam. And Mario says, rolls off the tongue. It does. It does. We got a few more commercials to watch, some real classics here. I am going to pull one of these from Joe's collection. And where are
Well, once I got started, it was hard to stop.
Oh, I love
so many great ones.
Yeah, seriously. No, you didn't. No, I hardly had to do any work at all. You really covered the bases beautifully. All right, let me get. Okay, so this is from Captain Bijou. So thanks, Captain Bijou, for uploading this. Let's take a look at this classic.
When I grow up, I want to be a mommy.
You can play mommy right now with Ideal's Betsy Wetsy. See, Betsy Wetsy cries real tears.
Real tears?
She drinks from her own bottle just like a real baby.
You fill her with
The
water.
soft touch of her baby pink skin. Of course, like all little babies, Betsy Wetsy wets and needs to be changed. And just think of all the fun you'll have giving Betsy Wetsy her bath.
Think of all the
and shampooing
fun.
her rooted saran hair.
She doesn't poop.
Ask your mommy to get you Betsy Wetsy, and then you can be a mommy too. Betsy Wetsy by Ideal comes complete with layette in 4 sizes.
Layette.
Priced from $5.95.
$5.95.
I only have one thing to say to that commercial.
Lots of other wonderful Ideal
What's
toys
that, Joe?
at your favorite toy
My
department.
name is Talking Tina.
It's a wonderful toy. It's
Baby
Ideal.
Ideal.
dolls.
That was
Betsy Wetsy back in the day.
Yeah. I feel like my mother had told me. Oh no. I was about to say I thought my mother told me that she had one. No, my mother told me that she hated this doll because my mother's name was Betsy.
Oh.
So she heard a lot of Betsy Wetsy references.
Yeah,
as
just
she
like
was-
today, nobody can be named Karen. You know?
Right. Oh, I feel so bad. I've got a friend named Karen. She's like the sweetest person in the whole world. And unfortunately, she's a Karen. Not literally. Not the way people mean it, but her name's Karen.
Hey, it looks like Mario sent us the link.
Oh, did you?
Look at the link.
This is Barry's great. A doll that pisses itself. How fun.
Pretty much.
I mean, there's not much more to it. Oh God.
But Mario, you're gonna have a great time giving her a bath and cleaning her up. 15 times a day.
I just love that, like, the whole idea of a girl having fun, 40, 50 years ago. If a girl wants to have fun, it's doing housework.
Yes. And didn't that girl, by the way, look a lot like Kathy Coleman from Land of the Lost?
Yes. That was a look. That was a type. I want
got the pigtails going like every good homemaker should.
And that look was never natural. So often they had to dye the girl's hair or put a wig on her. I mean, the weird standards that are created.
Oh, just like poor Bobby Brady.
Oh, but what about Bobby Brady?
Oh, they had to dye his hair the first couple years.
Oh my gosh, I didn't.
They eventually let it go to its more natural, lighter brown, but they dyed it black along with the other Brady guys.
Oh man. To do that to a kid, man, that just sucks. All right, let's watch another cigarette commercial. This one.
Why not? Because I don't have the urge to smoke just yet, so let's keep it going.
This is all right. Again, sorry, we don't mean to show you this commercial, folks. There we go.
Now this is a real man here. Not him.
There he is. Oh, I remember this music too.
Music was great.
You guys work. I'll smoke.
I'll smoke my Marlboro.
I wonder if some AI was used on this.
No, you don't see many wild stallions anymore.
No, you don't.
Well, except for the Bill and Ted movie.
Mares. He's one of the last of a wild and very singular breed.
That's his whole job.
Showed up, smoked, waved his hat around.
Come to
Can't
where
get
the
rid of it.
flavor is. Come to
Marlboro country.
Marlboro country.
Don't forget we have extra long 100s.
And of course, that was Marlboro was the cigarette they called the Cowboy Killer.
Awesome.
So
my understanding is that at least one of the Marlboro men actually didn't smoke.
I'm sure more than a couple did not smoke. Yeah. And I don't know how often anyone would ever fake it, but that was a thing. Like, people started quitting smoking way back in the 50s. They knew it was bad for you. And then, the business world kept going with it.
Yeah, John, I wouldn't know. I've had no experience with people that faked it, so I couldn't get that.
Having been a smoker, I can't tell you, and my wife does this too. We'll watch things and we'll see someone smoking. We'll be like, that's not a smoker. Because whenever somebody, classic was Dice Clay. Dice Clay was not actually a smoker.
Did the cigarette ever get to his mouth?
Yeah.
He's always like moving around. I know that.
Yeah, and he would pull the smoke out, but he wouldn't inhale, and he'd just blow it out, which is fine.
Yeah.
But we were talking about Betsy Wetsy, and of course, Barry the K says, next up, bipolar Betsy.
I think it's a perfect follow-up to, for the modern age.
And then Mario says, by the way, do you know why you never need to buy your wife a nice watch? That's
I hope they'll tell us.
It's probably a joke. Why would you never need to buy? Because the oven already has a clock. Oh! Whoa!
Well, she would know that if she's a good homemaker, ready to cook a meal for her man at the end of a long day at the office.
Mario in there with the dice clay joke. Whoa!
Oh,
my wife happens to be an excellent cook. That's actually one of my favorite things she does for me is she cooks. She does excellent things. Yes. I agree. All right, let's take a little break from smoking for let's take a cigarette break. That would be a break from cigarettes. And let's take a look at this one. And then I have one that I'll dig up. Okay.
Breaking news. Today, unpredictable events have occurred across the globe. Who has come to save the day for humanity? Who is this mysterious, mighty hero? Stretch.
Yes.
Your stretchable superhero. Stretch him 4
Go
times
stretch.
his size. He becomes bigger than a building. Tie him into a knot.
I wonder what's happening down there.
To his original shape. Stretch him again and again. Stretch Armstrong. The return only from character.
The return.
I mean, at one point, Stretch Armstrong's, you know what, went from like this to this. I think if I had to be like 12 feet tall, I think I'd do that trade.
Oh man. I was always a fan of Stretch Armstrong. I love that he became a superhero, but they never made a comic book out of him or anything like that. All right, here's.
Well, he stretched above it, I
guess. All right. I am looking for a game commercial. And this was big in my childhood. I don't know if anyone else.
John, your childhood is my childhood, of course.
Okay. All right. And I think they're saying that 1978 was when this one came out. Oh, no. This from way before that. Okay. So let me share this one. All right. Hold on, everybody. I think I have the commercial that we all remember from our childhoods. I think this is. Let's see. All right, let me get that. Blow that up.
Let me see. What is it? It's still.
Do you remember this one?
Let's play. Last one with the marble on the board wins.
Hey, if a game washes up on the beach, I've got to play it.
I'm gonna block that strategy. I'm out. Me too. Uh-oh. I win. I'm a soul survivor.
That's the line right there.
Stay alive. The survival game from Milton Bradley.
I'm the one with the marble left.
I remember being a kid, and we would just do this in our house. And I know it drove my mom crazy. We would just parrot back whatever was on the TV. So it'd be like, I'm the sole survivor. And me and my sister would be sitting there for an hour like, I'm the sole survivor. My mom would be like, stop it. Enough. We heard you the first 80 times. I'm the sole survivor. Shut up.
I'm sure how many kids went to the beach looking for that game to wash up.
Seriously. Like I think I saw it in the toy store and I was like, no thanks.
Can't be the real deal. It's here in the store. It's not on the beach.
No, it's on the beach. You get it for free. That was a big one for my childhood. I'm the soul survivor. Okay, I'm sorry. Now I'm annoying myself. Let's see. So we watched.
Well, I'm annoyed because I'm going to be repeating that to myself for the next, for the rest of the evening.
I'm really sorry. It is a hook. It stays in your head. It really is a hook.
The best mottos and jingles always are.
Oh, for sure. All right. Well, we're kind of winding down here. I've got one more commercial. Does anybody have any requests? Because let's face it, the show's not exactly bouncing along at a crazy pace. We can throw a couple of requests in if you want. if there was a Mrs. Stretch Armstrong, I would date her.
Oh, absolutely. But you'd have to stretch this way.
You know, flexible is good. No matter what, flexible is good.
Oh, I want so badly to comment on that, but I just better not.
All right. I see your suggestion, Mario, and let me find it because you're right. This is an amazing commercial.
Yes, let's challenge John. He can do it.
Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. This took no time. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I got to go through an anime commercial. Oh, no, I can skip it. Good. Okay.
Our special guest is back with us for the best commercial of all.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
I looked at my head and I saw Joe going Stretch Armstrong. I'm like, what are you doing over there? What's going on?
We were exploring all the wonderful aspects of Stretch Armstrong's personal life. Okay, so do you remember this one, and how much of a banger is this song? And I gotta blow it up, and this is for My Buddy.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Wherever I go, he goes,
My buddy, my buddy.
God, it's Chucky.
It is Chucky.
It is Chucky. I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
And Talkie Tina again.
Available for only children.
Available to creep you out. Now, one of my coworkers many years ago, I was a computer trainer, and the training room was just adjacent diagonally from this person's office. And you could see her visitor chair, and as it looked straight into the training room, and she had this, I don't know where she got the thing. It was this creepy ass doll. And I looked up one day, I was working on something on the computer. I looked up, and the dang thing's looking at me. And it gave me nightmares for days. It was like something special that a friend of hers made them. So it was totally unique. It was like a real person.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like,
could have been.
Hi, Tone.
Could have been.
My buddy. Well, it wasn't my buddy.
That is hilarious.
Did you have My Buddy, Tone?
No, I can't say that I did.
No, man, we missed out. What about you, John?
My mom had 5 children, so anytime I needed someone,
buddies.
Yeah, I had enough buddies.
Even creepier, huh?
Okay, so I'm hoping this is the one I want it to be. There was a theme song that was my favorite rap song of the early 90s. And they could do some really good music back in the late 80s, early 90s especially. I remember how that worked out. I think this one gets it for us. Let me see. What I'm looking for is this hook right here. The taste is in the shape. Very East Coast, very Bomb Squad, very like
I've got to see this in context.
Very heavy.
I'm already having dark thoughts of what this might be.
Very heavy D and the Boys, very Diddy, very yeah. So let's see.
I feel like I need some LSD right now. Oh, I hate the inside the mouth shot.
Yeah, it's not the one I was looking for, but still pretty good.
Hey, that was intense enough for me.
It's probably the most rap you've listened to all year, Joe. That's not a note. That's not a criticism.
I beg to differ, John, because I got somebody here that's good at impromptu rap. I hear a lot of it.
Oh, I was going to say, unless he's in my car, then we throw it down. MC Joe.
Well, we're going to have to explore that someday because I happen to love hip hop myself, and I really like the lame stuff. That's my favorite stuff. Oh my God. I years ago, I was driving an Uber, and I picked some guys up, and I was listening to some like a Sirius XM old hip hop station. I can't remember what they were calling it, Backbeat or whatever they were calling it back in the day. And so I pick up these guys, and they're 4 Mexican guys, and I'm taking them out to a club, and I was just about to turn the channel to something a little more party music off of this rap station, and Cypress Hill starts up, and they're like, no, keep it there. Keep it there. And we're all like, insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. It's music brings people together. That's the beautiful thing about music.
If you ever want to see the whitest guy on the planet, just have me do some rap for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
I used to I had a friend who did karaoke, and I was like, man, you should do a night that's all rap songs, because people want to get out there and they want to do rap songs. And he's like, yeah, clubs don't want that. Like, no, I'm the guy who books the night. No, I'm telling you, clubs don't want that. Nope. I don't want to tell the 12 millionth little white girl she can't be yelling the N word with a hard R. No, I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay. You've been through this. You know what you're talking about. Mario, you troublemaker, do from some freestyle. I can't do any freestyle. Cops come and try to snatch my crops. These pigs want to burn my house down. Okay, that's all I give you. Insane in the membrane. Gentlemen, I think we're pretty much done. We pretty much, oh my God, we've gone an hour and a half. Oh, Lord.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean,
that's crazy.
A full show, a great show, especially with our friend Tony. But again, scratching, the tip of the iceberg. I think we got more coming up.
Oh, yeah. No, we'll do
what?
this
One thing we didn't even get to today, it occurred to me, is like the mini commercials where they do like really bad covers of great songs.
Oh.
Like the Rolling Stones. And
Yeah. All right, we're gonna watch one more. This is this was pulled for us by Joe, and this is another smoking commercial. It's very unusual in the old days of television to see a big movie star. And this big movie star was recognized all throughout the world.
And a real man.
And a real man. Man, this is John Wayne for Camel Cigarettes.
Here's John Wayne, America's #1 classic movie star, on location.
Get him, John.
Making a movie can be pretty tough.
Oh my God.
Squeeze swinging He-Man parts are what John Wayne loves to play, and what the audience loves to see him in. Okay.
Oh my God. Just beating the crap out of all those people. He's throwing chairs.
He's trying to make footprints and submit for Lucy.
Holy cow.
John Wayne takes time out to enjoy his favorite cigarette, Camel. Let's hear what he thinks about it.
Let me take a break from beating the crap out of guys and smoke a Camel.
Well, after you've been making a lot of strenuous scenes, you like to sit back and enjoy a cool, mild, good-tasting cigarette. And that's just what Camels are. Mild and good-tasting, pack after pack. I know, I've been smoking them for 20 years.
Oh,
geez.
So why don't you try them yourself?
Are we going to talk about how he died?
Yeah, exactly. And you'll discover the secret of Camel's extra enjoyment. Smoke only Camels for 30 days.
Are you unfiltered Camels? That's a He-Man cigarette right there.
Any other cigarette.
I just love how they're like, yeah, he really likes those He-Man parts, beating the crap out of people, throwing chairs at their heads.
Well, John, that was a strong finish. Thanks for selecting that one.
All righty. Great time with you guys. So glad that I could be on with both of you, Tony Luna, Joe Townsell. Such a good time. Let's just do one more little. No, wait, I don't want to press that button. Let's not let anyone forget that Tony's band, Los Hooligans, has a fantastic sound and a great look. And
what's there?
Wait a second. Tony, man, you're such a good singer. Holy Captain.
Smoke and mirrors, baby.
Looking.
Right now he's so nervous he's peeing his pants. He's like Tony Wetzel.
We gotta go.
This is Los Hooligans. If you want to find out more about Los Hooligans, go visit their website. Tony, did you throw this website together?
Yeah, we have this up and running here. We're gonna add some more dates here as spring comes along. We're kind of more of a spring summer.
Yes. Totally. You can check them out at LH, that's for Los Hooligans, LHska.com. And do yourself a favor. Check out some Tony Luna.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as always.
Hey, our pleasure. Joe, did I ever play your first commercial? I never did.
Well, you did play one at the top of the show, yes.
Okay, good, because then there's the new one.
And we gotta get at least 2 of these in here.
If
nothing else, this week it tells people that this is a real commercial, not one of the fake ones.
If I ever make any money, I promise you I will pay Joe. But right now, the best I can do is occasionally send him a robe and every show give him a couple of promotional consideration by. But do check out joetownsell.com. And not only is Joe's recent novel, Health and Wellness, but we're getting ready for his next big release. Tell us about Horror Springs Eternal, Joe.
As the promo says, we got 13 tales of trial and terror. Read them independently, but they also have ties together. It's going to be really cool. It's just a return to the short fiction of Joe from earlier works. And I'm really excited about it. Look for it by the fall, if not sooner.
Yes. So we'll let you know. You can always stick with us, and we will let you know. I want to say goodbye to our good friends Mario and Barry. Thank you so much for joining us. Josh, if you're still on, thank you so much for joining us as well. And yes, well, thank you, Mario. Yes, Joe makes the fiction spooky, and I find spooky
is he talking
music.
about my stuff? Or is he talking about the commercials he watched? Especially that My Buddy thing. My goodness.
But that's Chucky, right? That's exactly where Chucky
that
came
inspired
from.
Chucky. Did we know?
Oh,
that?
of course it did. How could it not?
Yes. Okay, so do I have end credits? I do. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. And that'll do it this week. We'll see you next week. Same retro time.
Your popcorn, warm up your TV. Captain John, Commander Joe got something to see. We're all back in time to the golden past with the Retro Ranger. Oh, it's such a blast. We're flying high with the Retro Ranger. Give it a try and don't be a stranger. Ranger, strap yourself in for a fun-filled flight. Retro Rangers are flying tonight.